So I got into the video world back in 2016 in some of the golden ages of YouTube and had a multitude of different music subscriptions from Epidemic, MusicBed, Audio, and Vado. But in this video, I want to specifically go over and review and deep dive into all the different tools that Artlist has and why it's a worthy competitor to all the other competition. Now, quick disclaimer, this video is sponsored by Artlist. However, I have been paying and actually using the services myself for the last 4 years with my own money and still currently pay for the services myself with my own money, which I feel like does say a lot about that in today's era. But without further ado, let's jump into this video. Now, instead of hopping into the website and showing all the features, which I will dive into a little bit in this video, I thought I'd bring you guys on a shoot that I did for a coffee brand that I work with and show you guys how I actually use Artlist in my own video production to give you guys a couple different ideas. So before I got this haircut, let's kind of jump back in time to that. So we're almost done setting up the scene to get filming going. We're using the June G300 as our key light. We're using a support rod to support up the thing. The thing that is nice about this light is how small and compact it is. And then you do have a control unit over here to actually physically control everything. But we do have one little bit of a problem, and that problem is actually right over here, which is this light. So what we're gonna do is we are going to take, right here, I have just a bunch of white cloth and black cloth that I picked up from the Dollar Tree, which is for tables. And we're gonna use some gaff tape just to gaff tape this window to block out any unwanted light from this scene. Try to tape just a little bit, get the paper just a little bit over the edge. So whenever I'm doing any like zoom ins or anything like that, it should be mostly covered. So this is using the Top Rig S60 as our first test shot. Right here, we're just getting a simple back and forth motion using in the A and B. We're shooting on the GH7 right now as our main camera. And yeah, we're just getting the first few shots. Now we are gonna kind of pit using this camera, the S9, paired with the 100mm to kind of get this top-down shot, showing kind of a little bit of a pan back and forth, showing more, just highlighting the details of the bag, some of the tasty notes and different things like that. So wrapping that shoot, I got into the editing stages, and this is where I kind of pieced everything together. So for myself, I actually did use Chat GPT to kind of help me script out something for this little commercial spec that I was doing for my friend who runs this coffee brand, which you can buy his coffee. It's really good. Using the voiceover, I was able to actually completely pick my music. I was able to find my sound effects. I was able to find everything and put it together to create this piece that I'm going to be showing sort of towards the end of this video. So if you're interested in seeing that, definitely stick around, and you should also subscribe while you're here. Before I show you guys the entire final cut of this commercial, I'm going to break down all the different tools and the layout of Artlist itself on why I use everything here and how I end up using the entire platform itself. So right here is actually the entire homepage for Artlist, where you have your music, you have footage, you have different collections, your templates, sound effects. So when you go into the music, you have a ton of different things that you can do with the music. Some things that I specifically like is that you can change what instruments you want, your genres, your moods, your video themes, and you can really get a custom look when you're trying to find a specific song. All right, and then this button right here, which is really cool, you can turn on the highlights, and when you play the song, it's going to play the highlight of the song. This is kind of nice, honestly, because when you don't have this, you're trying to find the highlight of the song yourself, so you're just kind of, and it plays it typically from the beginning of the song without the highlights. So this kind of actually highlights where some of the best and key moments of what Artlist thinks is the best parts of the song. So this actually kind of speeds up the process when you are looking through music and you want to find something. And then you actually have something else which is really, really powerful now, which is called stems. So these little things right here, anything that has these little lines right here, these are what are called stems. Now, the thing that I absolutely love about stems, and I'm so glad that Artlist finally added it, is say this song right here, which I did use for a project. You can mute the different tracks and you can have just the brass and winds. Maybe you want to add the drums. You want to add the keys back in. Electric guitar. And then back to the bass. And that's kind of where this really comes into handy using stems. Stems is a powerful tool when you want to have your different tracks and then you want to get really, really customized on how you are laying out the tracks onto your platform. So specifically in this project, I actually ended up using some stems of a specific song, and I was able to change how the drums came in, how the keys came in throughout the different songs. So I was able to give it a little bit more customization using this tool right here. Now for the next thing with stock footage, the thing that I love about this stock footage on Artlist is this is some of the highest quality stock footage out there. Like, there's not much other competition out there in terms of stock footage. Yes, you can get stock footage that doesn't look good with some other competitors, but again, if you are a professional videographer or a professional filmmaker, this stock footage looks really, really good. So for this commercial, I typed in coffee beans and I was able to find a ton of different things and different shots of coffee grounds. So things I didn't have to film myself, and I was able to plug it directly into the commercial. Then for the sound effects library, the sound effects library is slowly growing more and more. For example, if I want to just look up coffee, it might be throwing me some items for a coffee shop, espresso, coffee bean grinder, different things like that. But if I want to say like pour, I can try to find like something for water pouring in a liquid. And this kind of gives you a couple different ideas of how you can find different things that you specifically want for your sound effects, and just adds a little bit more texture and dynamic into your entire commercial. Nextly is the voice AI. The voiceover is so impressive, not gonna even lie. So this is what I believe the voiceover I ended up using for my commercial was. I found this voice that I really liked, and you can go to the voice catalog and hit play, and it will show a little video with a voiceover. Super close to sounding super real. But if you are on a lower budget and you can't hire out voiceover talent, this could...
Every morning tells a story, and it begins with that first sip.
The cool part is once you do get this voiceover and you have this thing, there's this little button right here where it says AI power content suggested. Now, the cool thing that I really love about this is once you hit it, you hit get suggestion, and then it's going to create an entire artboard, which I have over here, which tells you what your script is, what your voice AI is. Then it's going to give you music suggestions, your footage suggestions, sound effects suggestions based off your voiceover script. So when I actually started editing this project, I started with the voiceover, and from there I was able to find my music really quick, and I ended up, I believe, using one of these songs right here. I believe I used double espresso. And the cool part is when you are playing this music, you can lower this music. You can do the stems thing like I mentioned before, and then you can hit play on your voiceover.
Tells a story.
And then hit play on music.
First sip. The warmth of almond, the richness of chocolate, and the bright zest of sweet orange come together to awaken your taste buds. It's not just your average brew. It's the spark that
and then I played
your morning journey. Kickstart your story with Ignite Coffee.
So I ended up using the stems of this song with the voiceover, and I was able to create my own type of music because I do have a music background. So I was able to kind of put my own music together in that aspect with this voiceover and kind of create that project. So this just gives you a starting place to look for stuff that they personally recommend. And then again, it gives you a bunch of different shots from coffee clips that you can use and utilize. They also will provide you sound effects on what they think could work. So it seems like they mostly just gave me a bunch of coffee grinders, some steamy espresso sounds, you know, oil sizzle dripping in a pan. like different little things like a small coffee cup tipping over, different things like that you can easily add into your final video and kind of get the better result. There's a couple other features Artlist provides that I'm going to quickly briefly go over. The first one is templates. Templates have a ton of different things from text, titles, transitions, or full out openings that you can just plug and play different things for your own footage and your own text and titles and fonts and colors. The next thing is LUTs, which is kind of a brand new thing. This is great for beginners who aren't really new into color grading, or if you're just looking for different styles and effects to add to your footage, you can use the LUTs. And then lastly is the plugins features, which you can use with Final Cut, DaVinci Resolve, After Effects, or Premiere Pro. And these will go directly into your program and add a ton of different plugins into your video software. Before we kind of dive into the final edit of the video and show you guys what I created, let's just dive quickly into the pricing that Artlist has. Now for the pricing, there is 5 different plans. Now I'm not going to specifically go over every single plan, but it is worth noting that all of these plans are billed annually except the music and sound effects for social media for content creators. I personally, for the last 2 years with my own money, have been paying for the Artlist Max plan, but there's a ton of plans you can choose from, and there will be a link description to give Artlist a trial run if you are interested. Like I said, personally, I do use the Artlist Max and get the most out of my own subscription, and I have been paying for this one specifically for the last 2 years. And prior to that, I have been paying for the Music and Sound Effects Pro subscription to kind of just create content for social media. But as I started growing my own business, I really needed those extra tools like the high quality footage. And then now it just keeps getting better because it's the same price, and they added in the last couple of years the AI voiceover. They added more templates, they're adding more music, and it keeps honestly getting better and better. When I started this plan, it didn't even have stems, and now it does, so that's pretty impressive. So without further said, I want to show you guys what it's like using the majority of the tools that Artlist has in one single video that I created for my friend and his coffee company. Here's that.
Every morning tells a story, and it begins with that first sip. The warmth of almond, the richness of chocolate, and the bright zest of sweet orange come together to awaken your taste buds. It's not just your average brew, it's the spark that fuels your morning journey. Kickstart your story with Ignite Coffee.
So with all that said, Artlist is an extremely powerful service that is able to basically provide almost every tool you're going to need when you are creating a project using your music, sound effects, voiceover, footage, your templates, your plugins, even LUTs now. So if you are interested in trying out Artlist or signing up for a plan, there is going to be a link in the description, which does support me and my channel. So I'd appreciate it so much if you wanted to click that. Anyways, if you are interested in learning how much I made running a video production company in 2024, you can check out that video right there. YouTube recommends you might like this video right here. Till next one, guys, peace.